Shortly after that, the president was diagnosed with COVID. What's up, guys? Brett here with Simba Stock. So an absolutely crazy week for markets this week. We had the presidential debate, which showed a huge spike in the markets as the debate was ongoing, followed up by a huge dump right afterwards. Now, how were the debates? How did they go? Well, it was pretty much like a bunch of children fighting each other, to be honest. There were tons of interruptions from Trump and Biden alike, mostly Trump though, and the moderator really wasn't able to ask a lot of the questions that he wanted to in order to give the American people some answers about the questions that they have in picking a candidate.
All right, gentlemen,
was heavily
Mr. President,
you would have been much later, Joe.
Mr. President,
much later.
Mr. President,
you're talking about 2 million people.
You're not President as the moderator.
Now, we did see a huge recovery after markets did dump after the debate in the following day, but just shortly after that, the president was diagnosed with COVID.
Stunning news. The President of the United States now confirming to the world that he and the First Lady of the United States have both tested positive for the coronavirus, and they will quarantine.
Now what? There's a lot that can happen, really. The president is currently receiving treatment for COVID at Walter Reed Medical Center, and he has taken drugs from both Regeneron and Gilead. So make sure you keep both of those companies on your watch list this week, as they could be big movers, both up or down, depending on how the president is feeling going into the next couple of days. The market itself hopefully should recover, as it did see a huge sell-off, almost 2.5% overnight. But on Friday, a lot of people did end up buying the dip. But we didn't see a full recovery into the close. Are people bearish or bullish going into this week? We really don't know. It really will depend on how the president does recover this week. He is said to be returning to office hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday. We should see a rise in markets as we see things stabilize and we see his condition get better. But of course, COVID does take a few weeks in order to run its course, so we will have to see how the next few days play out, maybe even the next week or so, for the president. Now, being that the president does fit most of the criteria for somebody who is most at risk, right? Being older, a little bit overweight, it is a bad sign for him that he has gotten COVID. But what can be good about this? Well, if he does recover, it kind of backs his whole standpoint about downplaying the virus. Now, downplaying the virus obviously isn't a good thing, There are a lot of people who feel that we do have to stay inside, everybody should be wearing masks wherever they go, and that the economy should be shut back down. But obviously, Trump's standpoint has been a little bit different. Now, if he does recover, obviously it will back his standpoint on this and probably help him when he does go back into the debates, if he does. If not, it will definitely help Biden's campaign, right? It kind of proves his whole point. It's like Trump downplayed the entire virus and now he has it. And if he doesn't recover in the next couple of weeks before the election in about a month, then we most likely will see a Biden victory outcome. What does that mean for markets? Well, they probably would see a sharp decline, as most people have seen, and then maybe over the next few months, another stabilization. But we definitely should see an immediate dump, I believe, if we do see a Biden victory out of the election. This week, we do have to see how Trump is reacting to the virus and if he will be better or get worse and have to go back to the medical center if he does go back to the White House. What will this mean for markets? I definitely don't think everybody should be swing trading too heavily. There can be huge pumps that you might want to think about missing out on just because there could be a huge dump the next day. You definitely don't want to be gambling overnight, so I definitely suggest day trading if you are playing, options, or if you're playing short-term positions. If you are an investor, of course, any dip that you see, you obviously probably want to make sure that it is going to be a smart investment at these levels. So if you do see a level that you think you should be buying a stock at, then by all means, of course, you probably want to go for it. But just keep in mind, if we do see a decline in Trump's health, we could see much lower levels, which would be a good spot for you to buy the dip. Buy the dip. Anyway, let us know what you think. Who do you think is going to win the presidential election with everything going on currently? Biden, Trump? Let us know. Also, do you think markets are going to go higher, lower? Let us know also. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll keep you guys updated on the market as it plays out this week. Cheers, gents.